Good evening, everybody. How's everyone doing tonight? Tonight we are continuing our playthrough of the Backstab Unlimited Blade Wroks route. Last we left off, Shirou and Ren had a nice date, and then it was ruined by Caster coming in. And stealing Saber. So how is Shirou going to continue the fight? Without Saber, or how is he going to get her? How is he going to get her back? Let's find out. February 11th. Unlimited Blade Wroks. 12. Moonlight, Part 2. Interlude. 12-1. Unlimited Blade Wroks. The stone room is illuminated by the light of dawn. The light that comes in from the ceiling dilutes the darkness underground. Every entrance and window is sealed off, but even that cannot block the sunlight. Even this place that should be closed off in the darkness benefits from the break of dawn. Ooh, we getting the dress already? Whether it's an entrance or window, they were originally created to let things in or out. The cracks cannot be covered, and besides, it can't fulfill its duty as a passage if it's completely closed off. If one wants to completely avoid the sunlight, there cannot be any entrances from the outset. If one prefers darkness, they should dive underground to the bottom without a way to return. In that regard, this underground sanctuary is not perfect. The sunlight exposes all secrets without reservation. The hidden sanctuary was easily discovered, and the owner was eliminated just as easily. There are traces of blood on the floor. The original owner of this sanctuary was defeated by an intruder. The supervisor of the Holy Grail War, Kire Kotomine, was removed from the stage by Caster's hand. That battle was already a few hours ago. The underground regained its silence. The new owner of the church is standing still in the darkness. But the winner scorns herself. Caster glares at the darkness with an irritated look. First of all, she doesn't like this sanctuary. Neither the hidden sanctuary nor the secret sanctuary hidden beneath it suits her taste. The light that comes in is unpleasant, and she didn't like the priest that she finished off earlier either. And most of all, the most important objective has not been accomplished yet. She was shocked at how poorly things were going, and she even considered reducing this place to ashes. Yeah, generally not a good idea to fight on holy ground. Oh wait, wrong series. Wrong series about out of place warriors fighting in the present day. Fortunately, she restrained herself from such an atrocity. It's not because she regained her composure, nor is it out of respect towards the church. She suppressed her emotions solely because of this sound, this faint periodic noise. The painful voice that escapes from the woman is like heavenly music to her ears. For the time being, she enjoys the spectacle. The growling sounds of pain come from a girl. The voice that escapes her mouth is too weak. Her anguish would cause those who listen to feel the desire to protect her or sadistic feelings on the contrary. Of course, she is the latter. Sweat drips down from her forehead. Just from watching her cute lips bearing the pain, the cold room seems to get warmer.
大したものね、セイバー。レイジの縛りを一晩中拒み続けるなんて、私たちでは考えられないわ。
In the back of the sanctuary, the girl tied from the ceiling can only pant. As long as Saber continues to defy the command spell, she has no free will. I'm pretty sure defying the command spell means she does still have free will. It's only when she stops defying the command spell that she's lost it. Additionally, Magecraft so strong that it is visible tortures her whole body. The command spell pressures her from the inside, and Caster's Magecraft tortures her from the outside. Saber's reasoning is disappearing. Even then, the last remnants of her pride are keeping her at bay. Neither the blind binding of the command spell nor Caster's Magecraft can take away her underlying principles. Therefore, the torture lasts forever. Caster watches that process, the girl desperately holding out with joy. It was Caster's idea to put her in a white dress. It's a nice white dress, I'll give her that. Just don't like the circumstances in which she's wearing it. Rustic armor is not appealing, and most of all, it does not suit her. If she is an innocent saint, then she should be in a pure white dress when she falls.
けなげなこと。いくらあなたの意志が拒み続けても、サーバントとして作られたその体は別よ。
Trying to watch a saint fall, you're starting to have more in common with Gilles de Rais.
レイジュが少しずつ侵食しているのがわかるでしょ。あなたはあと一日も経たずに私のものになる。ならもう降参して素直になった方が楽じゃなくて？
I know your true name, and I know you had some terrible experiences with men, but come on! Her voice resists painfully. Even though her reasoning is melted, she will not yield to Caster. Just as Caster says, she will put up with the torture until the command spell fully controls her body in the very end.
強情ね、セイバー。ええ、けど許してあげる。私、あなたみたいな娘は好きよ。金の髪も小さな体も少年のような凛々しさも可愛いわ。それに裏切るぐらいなら死を選ぶ一途さも愛らしい。
Blonde hair, petite body, boyish gallantness. Jeez, even now she's still thinking about Jason. Hang on just a minute.
ほんと踏み潰してあげたいぐらい。
She stares at the girl with eyes mixed with hatred and pleasure. If Caster puts her mind to it, she could get Saber to surrender in an instant. Saber's freedom is taken away just from one command spell. Then the result is obvious if she corners her with two command spells. Saber would become Caster's without the need for such torture. Yeah, ask Archer how that works. But she will not do such an inelegant thing. Caster should take her time finishing her, since Saber is her lovely tool.
そうね。霊樹で体を支配するなんて退屈ですもの。あなたには自分から私のサーバントになってもらいましょう。ねえ、体ではなく 先に心を壊してあげる。
She now holds the strongest piece in her own hands. There is nothing threatening her victory. The whereabouts of the Holy Grail is a concern, but that is a matter of time, just as she decided to enjoy the fall of the King of Knights as a reward for her evil scheme.
そこで何をしている、キャスター。
Suddenly, an emotionless voice calls from behind. And no, it is not this voice. She turns around immediately. Above the sanctuary, someone slowly makes his way down the stairs that lead outside. A lean, ghost-like figure appears from the darkness. There are no footsteps, nor a presence to be felt. The man comes down into the sanctuary and keeps a straight face, even after seeing the bloodstains on the floor and the girl tied from the ceiling. Hopefully she didn't. I wonder if she found that basement. For those of you who are familiar with the Fate route.
宗一郎様。
Caster's attitude changes right away. Her expression changes from irritation and pleasure to that of the tense servant.
なぜここに？あなたには竜道寺にいるようお願いしたはずですが。
質問は私が先だ、キャスター。ここで何をしていると聞いたのだが。
The man, Soichiro Kuzuki's voice does not change. A voice with no inflection is more terrifying than any threat. And also no visual references. Where are the sprites? An emotionless voice is like a mirror, an awareness of one's guilt. This voice is more fearful to those who have greater guilt. She is not being questioned by Kuzuki, but by her own self. Caster holds her chest and reports the whole story to Kuzuki. He is not someone who can be fooled. No, he is the only one to whom she cannot lie.
昨日、マスターの一人であるエミヤシローからサーバントを奪いました。エミヤシローは逃しましたが、すでにマスターではありません。
そうか。だがそんな指示を下してはいない。
Maybe if you act like you cared about this Holy Grail war?
私の独断です、マスター。その後、聖杯の器を手に入れるために教会を襲いました。聖杯の管理役である神父は仕留めましたが、聖杯の行方は不明です。
Rule number 1 about off-screen character death. If there ain't a body, he ain't dead.
そちらも独断か。帰還しなかったのは聖杯が見つからなかったからだな。確かにせっかく手に入れた場所だ。肝心のものを手に入れないまま留守にしては意味がない。
Kuzuki's words are not blaming her. But Caster only felt ashamed of herself. She killed the priest who knew the whereabouts of the Holy Grail, but she is yet to obtain it. Or confirm that the priest is actually dead because she can't find a body. On top of that, her arbitrary decisions that she needed to keep secret were revealed. What else can she call this other than a failure?
状況は分かった。理由を説明できるか、キャスター。
申し訳ありません。ですがこれも全てマスターのため。私の目的はあなたを勝利させることだけです。理由などそれ以外にはありません。
A long silence. After hearing Caster's strong declaration, Soichiro Kuzuki simply murmurs, I see. Even though we can't hear him murmur, I see.
ではここから離れるわけにはいかんな。留守中、他のマスターに聖杯を見つけられては、お前の苦労も無駄になる。
では、マスター。
納得のいくまで調べるがいい。それまでは私もここに残ろう。お前一人では戦いに向かん。セーバーが手駒になるまで護衛は必要だろう。
いえ、それには及びません。マスターに力を借りずとも手駒はありますし、聖杯の探索とてどれほどかかるか。
This coming from the woman who says she has a special connection with the Holy Grail and knows all its tricks?
それにここは危険です。竜道寺に戻られた方があなたの身は安全です。
正論だ。だがそれでは私の目的が果たせなくなる。
Those words were unexpected for Castor. He did not have an objective. What kind of objective can this man have when he has no interest in the Holy Grail that can grant any wish?
宗一郎様、それは。
急げよ。なければないでいい。成果は問わん。結果だけを出すがいい。
Yeah, that's not a good idea. As I always say, if you set every time you sacrifice principle for expedience, you end up with neither. He tells her simply and goes back up the stairs. Castor watches him dumbfounded. The darkness is still silent. The footsteps heading above ground cannot be heard. Interlude out. I open my eyes. My eyes are not the only thing that wake up, as my sleeping mind wakes up as well. The wound is not a problem. I check the wound on my left shoulder. It still hurts, but there's no intense pain like last night. The heat of my body has gone down as well. It shouldn't be a problem for me to move around. I eat breakfast and fill my empty stomach. Food comes before anything. My body won't move how I want it to unless it gets the nutrition it needs. Alright. I reapply the bandage on my left shoulder. My exposed skin and wound have turned dark blue. The wound hasn't healed up, and I can see dark red skin peeking through. Of course, Saber's not here right now. I disinfect for my peace of mind, but put gauze over it and wrap bandages around it. Wrapping bandages and constricting the wound is the most primitive first aid treatment, but I have to do this or my wound would expand just by moving my left arm. All done. I just need a weapon now. Shouldn't you put the bandage on first and then the gauze, or...? The sky is cloudy. It must be really cold today, as there's still frost left in the yard. But this has nothing to do with me. I don't feel any cold. My body's so hot I want to pour ice water over my head. Even then, my body is in much better condition compared to yesterday. These bamboo swords are the only things that I could use as weapons after all. I choose the one that seems like it can pass magical energy through in the best and... I choose the one that seems like it can pass magical energy through it the best and wrap it in my bag. Is that proper grammar? That doesn't feel like proper grammar. Then I slap my cheeks. I don't know if it was to psych myself up again or if I was preparing to never come back here. I don't know why I did it myself. I sling the bag over my right shoulder and head outside. The place where I've spent many years. I didn't even look back at the shed that could be considered my own room. Well, even though I've decided to fight, there are still plenty of problems. I have to make clear what I need to prioritize and what I need to do, or else it'll end without me being able to do anything. There are two paths to take. Meet up with Tosaka. She told me to withdraw now. If I'm going to refuse and fight, I need to let her know that I won't withdraw on my own, and that we're still cooperating. And I can't let her fight by herself. I owe her big time. I can't sit down until I repay her for that. She always screws up at the most crucial moment. She's so unreliable that I can't let her be alone. I adjust the bag on my shoulder. I'm aware that I won't be of much help and that she will object. But I can't obtain peace of mind until I see Tosaka's face. This is hypothetical, but if she gets hurt without me knowing, I can't even be there to help her. Phew. I sit down on a bench and rest my burning body. It's past noon. I've searched all around Shinto, but I haven't found anything. Dang. I knew it wasn't going to be easy, but I didn't think I would find nothing. I knew that I had no way to find Tosaka from the start. I tested my luck and looked around town, but I couldn't find her or even traces of her. The other masters aren't coming out either. I guess there's no need to even attack me now that I don't have a command spell. I take a deep breath and lean back on the backrest. I won't get anywhere like this. Tosaka isn't naive enough to show her tail, and my last resort to use myself as a decoy to lure other masters is failing so far. I get a bit uneasy. I can't find Tosaka and can't save Saber. They might already be in an irreparable situation by the time I find them. It's still noon. I won't let that happen so easily. I stand up from the bench. I ignore my left shoulder. It starts heating up again and leave the park. I'll search one more time from the start. There's no doubt that she's in Shinto. It's the same as last night. I don't know why, but I can instinctively feel that he is around here. It's not as uncertain as a premonition, but close to conviction. Interlude 12-2 Unlimited Blade Wroks. When did I figure out the truth of that dream? A desert as far as I can see. The infinite swords stuck in the ground do not have a wielder. The sky is stormy and there is no forest or town or ocean in the far horizon. The hail of swords that continues endlessly. A graveyard of steel that has no user or owner. I realized from the start, that was the scenery inside that hero's mind. After a sequence of mini events, one who becomes a heroic spirit ends up in that place. There are those who left this world loved by many people, and those who left this world being praised as noble kings. There are those who died in battle wishing to fight, and those who pass on after leading a long, fulfilling life. However, there seems to be many who were praised against their will. If true heroes are those who legitimately earn their title, then these are different heroes. They should be called Avenger, the anti-hero that ended up in that place because of their reverse fate. Those who are the opposite position as heroes, yet worshipped as heroes as a result. Even those who are treated as heroic spirits, who both hate and are hated by humans, are used as guardians. But he is in a gray area. He's not a true hero nor a rare avenger. His efforts were unrewarded and his life ended in betrayal, but he never hated humans until the very end. But that too wore away. Yes, he must have gotten worn out. I was mistaken. Heroic spirits, familiars called servants, positioned as guardians, the counterforce of humanity. They are summoned to various ages and prevent the destruction of the world. But the only condition they have is destruction caused by humans. Destruction caused by nature and external factors are not solved by the counterforce of humanity, but by that of the world. That is why the only thing that heroic spirits who become guardians see is self-destruction, an existence only to eliminate destruction created from human desires. He made a contract with the world to save humans and became a hero. In return, he became a guardian after his death and was shown humanity's self-destruction over and over again. He was summoned as a heroic spirit to save people, yet he has been forced to clean up after people's misconduct. It did not take long for him to start thinking that was in vain and he couldn't help despising the human world. And in the end, even after he died, he kept getting betrayed by the ideal that he protected.
リン、どうした？立ちくらみか？
Rin Tosoko wakes up, being called upon suddenly. She slowly looks around. This is the foreigner cemetery. It's only past 7 p.m., but it's deserted. Well, the hill where the church stands is always deserted.
ごめん、寝てた。少し疲れてるみたい。
無理もない。昨夜から不眠だったからな。体調が優れないのならば見合わすか？
いいえ、時間はかけられない。キャスターの居場所が分かったんならここで決着をつけるべきよ。
Rin declares and notices that her body is warm. It must be because her familiar, Archer, had protected her from the cold with his cloak.
なんだ、寝てるって気がついてたんじゃないあなた。なのに。
何？立ったまま眠る人間にはそうお目にかかれないのでね。物珍しさでつい観察してしまった。
ますますたちが悪い。女の子の寝顔を見るなんて何様よあんた。
安心したまえ。誓ってそのような無礼はしていない。だが別のものは聞いたな。目は閉じようと思えば閉じられるが、耳はそうはいかないのでな。
You could just cover them and go la 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 la.
そう。私何か言ってた？あーちゃん。
ああ、気に食わないだの、頭にくるだの、実に物騒なささやきを数件。
なんだ、よかった。
Rin sighs with relief. The dream that she just saw cannot be discussed. She can't have Archer know about it. She likes their relationship. In order to maintain that, she must hide the fact that she knows Archer's past.
行きましょうあっちゃん。教会なら少しは詳しいわ。あそこならどこに隠れているか見当ぐらいつく。
She brushes away Archer's cloak and stands up. Archer protects her back silently. Then,
ねえあっちゃん、自分のやってきたことを後悔したことってある？
she asks without turning around.
私はできれば最後までしたくない。本当に打ちのめされた時にも歯を食いしばって意地を張り続けたい。けどそれって難しいんでしょうね。きっと私が考えている以上に。
個人差があるな、その手の精神論は。できる者もいればできない者もいる。とりわけ君は前者だ。その手の人間はまず過ちなど起こさないし、自らの。
何よ、それじゃあ私が傍若無人な暴君みたいじゃない。
I mean, you wouldn't be wrong.
いい自己認識だ、リン。鮮やかな人間というものは人より眩しいものを言う。そういった手合いにはな、歯を食いしばる時などないのだ。で、試験だが、君は間違いなくその手合いだ。遠坂凛は最後まであっさりと自分の道を信じられる。
The knight in red cloak says, as if Sot is singing. Reem blushes at his answer and asks her main question to him without looking back.
じゃああなたは最後まで自分が正しいって信じられる？
いや、申し訳ないが、その質問は無意味だな。
どうしてよ。答えられないことじゃないでしょ、こんなの。
Her voice is slightly nervous. To that,
最後までという質問が無意味だ。忘れたのか、マスター。私の最後はとうの昔に終わっている。
the red knight answers in a dry voice. Interlude out. Man, I sigh and lean against the sign. I searched around until the sun set, and the only thing I found was how useless I am. The wound on my left shoulder is aching. I don't know if it's because my bandage is getting loose or if the wound itself opened up. Anyway, I can't waste any more time. If I can't find a certain lead, then it'll end up just like last night. Jeez, where could she be? I recall when I parted ways with her last night. It's been a day already since she told me exactly what was on her mind, like how I can't fight without Saber or how I should escape to the church. Oh yeah, the church! There is a lead. I thought about it when I went out of town this morning. The supervisor of the Holy Grail War. The priest at the church on the hill should know about Tosaka's whereabouts. It's irritating to go ask for his help, but now's not the time to be picky. No, whether I like him or not, I shouldn't go see that priest. He says he's a priest, but there's something unsettling about him that tells me Kiriko Tamine is a man that fundamentally shouldn't be approached. I don't want to have to ask for his advice if possible, but he's the only one I can rely on. It's just once. It shouldn't be a problem. I tell myself and move my aching body. It's 7 p.m. I walk to the train station for 20 minutes. The church stands in the suburbs, away from the noisy town. It's been 9 days since I last went up this hill. However, considering the fact that I had never come here prior to that, I'm coming here quite often now. To be honest, I don't like that church. Maybe more than Kiriko Tamine, that church itself is forbidden territory that should not be approached, especially with that organ music. A fire 10 years ago. It's because the church, which looked after the children that became orphans, forces me to recall that incident from 10 years ago. I finish going up the hill and go out into the open grounds. I suddenly get a headache. It's not because of my left shoulder's wound. The wound is causing me to have a fever, but it shouldn't give me this stabbing headache. My temple hurts. I lose myself and feel a chill, as if my body is going to split in half like a shedding insect. This is weird. I fight through my headache and start running. The cause is the hunch I've had since yesterday. The unknown feeling that Tosaka is in Shinto. That has expanded to the max and is causing this headache. Then there's no doubt that something is going on in there. There are bloodstains on the floor. The traces of blood sporadically continue up to the door and at the back of the church. No, that's not it. It's not continuing to the back, but it seems like it's coming out. It seems like it's coming out from the back. It bothers me, but now is not the time for that. The bloodstains mean that someone is hurt. And this much too. Their life must be in danger. I feel a sharp pain in my head. A dull heaviness settles into my body. I ignore them as I take out my bamboo sword and start walking quietly. Tosaka! Are you there? Nobody replies. The air is tense. I feel like all the windows in the church would shatter if I raised my voice. I follow the traces of blood. The bloodstains are in the crevices of the building. It continues to the dark staircase that you would miss if you didn't know about it. Stairs that lead underground. I didn't know this place had a basement. This is a church, so could it be a mausoleum? Oh, you have no idea. I can't afford to be leisurely pondering right now. I exercise the utmost caution and step into the darkness. I descend in the darkness. There's a dim light at the end of the stairs. I hold my breath and move forward, using only the light below as a guide. The narrow corridor ends and I come out to an open space. It's a spacious stone chamber. The stairs along the wall stretch down to the sanctuary. There, stairs lead to an open space that seemed like the sanctuary. And there is the one thing I have been looking for, Rin Tosaka. Tosaka is confronting the enemy in front of her, with Archer protecting her. In front front of the altar are two silhouettes. It doesn't even have to be said. The mage in the purple robe, caster, and her master, Kuzuki. Then why'd you say it? On the altar behind them, there's Saber, who is looking down and panting painfully. My heart skips a beat. My pulse is clearly beating at a much faster rate. The situation is obvious. The two pairs of master and servant confronting each other in the sanctuary about 5 meters below me. They haven't noticed me hiding overhead, as they're too preoccupied. Tosuka and Caster are both thinking ahead, looking for an opening to attack. To look up in a situation like this would not be allowed. My heart beats even faster. My headache is constant, and I feel an intense pain in my shoulder as if it's been seared by a hot iron. I can't keep my presence hidden forever in this state. Caster or Kuzuki, if one of them looks up even just a bit, they'll notice me hiding. Not yet. Ugh. I hold my breath. I push my body against the wall and watch while keeping myself hidden. It's still too early. It's too reckless to attack when I don't yet have a grasp of what kind of situation it is. More importantly, I don't have much at hand. The only weapon I have is this strengthened bamboo sword. It's too reckless to confront Caster with only this weapon and without a plan. No, that's wrong. I do have another weapon. No way, what am I thinking? I can't use projection. Half of my body got numb just by using it once. Archer said so too, that it'll end up worse if I use it again. Magecraft beyond one's capabilities destroys the user first. If I use projection magecraft in this state, it's only natural that I die on the spot. The chance will come. For now, I just have to suppress my body that wants to run out and prepare for that chance.
そう。なら、綺麗は殺したわけ。
There's only intent to kill in her tense voice. Tosuka is glaring at the enemy in front of her with a coldness I've never seen before.
ええ、始末したわ。素直に聖杯を差し出す人間でもなさそうでしたからね。後々になって邪魔をされても困るもの。
On the other hand, Caster is composed. The witch declares loudly that she has killed him. The witch declares loudly that she's killed him. The witch declares loudly that she's killed him herself. A gritting sound echoes through the sanctuary. That man was more like the devil than a saint to me, but to Tosuka, that priest was a fellow senior apprentice. And he was killed. Even if he was involved and prepared as a mage, it's not something she could take in so easily.
そう。それは結構。綺麗もそれぐらいは覚悟していたでしょう。けどキャスター、一つ聞くけど、あいつの死体は確認した？
I don't know if she was suppressing her anger or if I was mistaken and she had held no anger from the start. Tosuka questions, as if it doesn't concern her. And Caster dodges her question, completely changing.
何を言い出すかと思えば、そのようなこと、あなたには関係ないでしょ？
ええ、全くないわ。けど他人事でもない。あいつが本当に死んだんなら安心できるから確認しただけよ。
それはどういう意味かしら、お嬢さん。
言葉通りの意味よ、キャスター。あいつがそう簡単に死ぬ玉かっての。もしはっきりと死体を確認していないんじゃ、まず間違いなく生きているって思っただけ。
I mean, there is a corpse, right? Right?
使えないわね、あなたも。どうせ綺麗を襲うならしっかり息の根を止めておけっていうのよ。まあいいわ、 やることもできたし、早めに済ませましょう、キャスター。今回は人質もいないし、気持ちよく戦えるわ。
A signal to start. Tosaka or Castor? If either of them steps forward, the sanctuary will immediately be covered in flames of magecraft.
大きく出たわね。あなた、この状況で私たちに勝てるつもりなのかしら？
やりようによってはね。幸いセイバーの制御もまだのようだし、条件は同じでしょ。それに久月先生のことも分かってる。セイバーは面食らってたけど、事前に知っていれば私のアーチャーの敵じゃないわ。
Tosaka gestures toward Archer while staring at Castor.
聞いての通りよ、アーチャー。キャスターの相手は私がする。下手に近づくとあんたまで契約破りを食らいかねないから。
私の相手はあの男か。それは構わないが、魔術師ではキャスターにはかなわないと分かっているのか、リン。
安心して、勝ち目もないことは言い出さないわ。キャスターは必ずここで倒す。そうすればセイバーだって元に戻ってシローと契約をし直せるでしょ。
It was at this moment we knew she messed up. Tosaka gets ready to fight. I feel a sense of urgency like a wild animal about to attack its prey. As if to stop that.
理想論だな。彼女をここで倒すというのは難しい。逃げるだけならば彼女は当代一だ。何しろ逃亡のために実の弟すら八つ咲きにする女だからな。
Hey, that wasn't entirely her fault. Aphrodite was partially to blame for that. Okay, Aphrodite is responsible for a lot of what happened to her. Archer nonchalantly steps in between Tosaka and Castor.
アーチャー、ちょっと何のつもりよ。
He does not answer Tosaka. The Red Knight confronts Castor silently, just like last time. That scenery. I think I remember seeing it somewhere.
実の弟すら八つ咲きにしたですって。知ったような口を聞くのね、アーチャー。あなたには私の正体が分かっていて。
竜の葉をよりしろとした人型はコルキス王の魔術と聞く。その娘王女メディアは希代の魔女と謳われたそうだが。
The air freezes. Castor's composure disappears and enmity like fire is directed at Archer.
そう。ならこの場はどちらが優勢かわかるでしょ。
Archer does not answer. His expression is stony, as if he is accepting everything that is happening, as if there's no good or evil.
抵抗は無駄よ、アーチャー。あなたが何者だろうとセイバーを取り戻すことはできない。今はまだ私に逆らう意志が残ってるけど、それに霊樹さえ使ってしまえば今すぐにだって私の人形にしてしまえるわ。
I strain to keep myself from getting up. Not yet. Even if that's true, I need to endure. If I want to save Saber, I can't jump out now.
たとえ霊樹を使われてもセイバーなら耐えられるわ。それが1分か2分かは知らない。けどそれだけあれば十分にあなたを仕留められるんじゃない？
Castor and Tosaka glare at each other, using Archer as the fulcrum. Standing in between them.
不可能だな。ここでお前を切り伏せようが、せいぜいその半身を立つ程度。その後に待つのはセイバーとキャスターを同時に敵に回すという劣勢だけだろう。
Yes, he defied his own master's expectations.
アーチャー、それは。
分かっているはずだ、リン。さすがにそうなっては勝ち目がない。セイバーは不完全なマスターのために能力を制限されていた。その縛りがなくなった以上、彼女は最強のサーバントだ。太刀打ちできるのはバーサーカーのみだろうよ。
He speaks in a matter-of-fact manner. Tosaka stares at Archer, stunned. Even Castro is puzzled by her sensible enemy. But not me. I've experienced something similar like this before. Could he be? A bad feeling occupies my thoughts. That time at the temple. When he was confronting Castro and she told him to join her. How did he turn her down? Don't. I muttered without realizing. Don't do it. It's not because the situation will get worse. You're Tosaka's partner, so don't do it! If that happens, I don't know what kind of an expression she'll make. Archer steps forward. He is only empty-handed. He steps forward without an enmity to another. He steps forward without any enmity or intent to kill, and
恨むなよ、小僧。こうなっては、こうする以外に道はなかろう。
he looks and smiles at me as if he noticed that I was peeking.
さて、キャスター。一つ尋ねるが、お前の許容量にまだ空きはあるのだろうな。
アーチャー、あんた。
Smile on your face, all the while they're gonna take your place. Backstabbers, backstabbers. Castor laughs like it's the funniest thing she's heard, and Archer's back is like steel. At that, Tosaka doesn't look away. It should be fine for her to break down at a time like this, but she tries her best to act strong and clenches her teeth.
ええ、当然よ。一人と言わず、すべてのサーバントを扱えるだけの貯蔵はあるわ。私の魔力がどこから補充されているかは知っているでしょ。
Magical energy that allows her to sustain 7 servants? That is the life being pumped from the people of this town.
ならば話は早い。以前の話、受けることにするよ、キャスター。
He holds out his hand to Castor in assent. I thought I was going to break down. I can't forgive him for betraying Tosaka and for approving of Castor and joining her. A hero. Even if the hero that saved many people and embodies my ideals is a man like that.
あの時は断ったのに。随分と腰が軽いのね、あなたは。
状況が変わった。セイバーがそちらについたのなら、今回の聖杯戦争の勝機はお前にある。勝てる方につくのは当然の行為だろう。
Archer walks to Castor, defenseless. That means he's leaving Tosaka. Tosaka doesn't stop him and stares at the enemy in front of her on full alert. I recognize her appearance. The red classroom. She tried to hide her shaking legs and continued to be green Tosaka, even with the collapsed students in front of her. That is her strength and weakness. She always tries to act brave in any situation, so those around her get the wrong idea that she's a strong person.
さあ、契約破りを使ってくれ。リンにはまだ霊樹が残っているからな。早くしなければお前に襲いかかってしまうぞ。
His banter doesn't change. He betrayed Tosaka in front of her, yet he's still acting like before. She must have felt weariness toward the opponent. Castor takes out that oddly shaped dagger, but does not try to stab Archer with it.
どうした？労せずして忠実な部下が手に入るのだ。何をためらう必要がある？
どうかしら。私は裏切り者を信用しない。あなたの言葉が正しいのなら、コマはセイバーだけでいいのではなくて？
裏切り者を信用しないか。確かに私はお前をも裏切るかもしれん。私は私のためにお前に下るのだからな。お前を主と認めたわけではない。だが
霊樹とは裏切り者を罰するためにあるでしょ。いいわ。あなた一人を御し得ないようでは私の器も知れるというもの。元よりあなたの宝具には興味があったことだし、思惑にはまってあげましょう。
Castor raises her arm. The dagger in her hand that breaks contracts is thrust at Archer's chest in a single line. Tosaka grimaces. It must be a reaction to having the contract broken by force. But this isn't the time to be hesitating over something like that. This has become the worst possible situation. Tosaka slightly retreats, still staring at them. Tosaka is calm. She understands that it would do no good to fight them now. If she wants to keep on fighting, she has to retreat for now. But there are 6 meters between Tosaka and the stairs. Is it possible for her to run that distance all at once? It's impossible. It's obvious looking from above. Kuzuki, who has been silent up to now, focuses his attention toward Tosaka. If she turns around and sprints full speed, would she be able to reach the stairs and get to the exit while dodging Kuzuki? Tosaka snorts, still staring at them. Her face. Of course that's impossible. Seems to be muttering that sarcastically. She'll die. She'll be killed like this. If I try to help her, I also won't be able to go back. The area just a few steps below me is a land of death. The master called Kuzuki and 2 enemy servants. There's no way I'd get out of there alive. My throat is dry. My fingers are frozen from nervousness. It's all or nothing. Even before I can think. Tosaka moves. She runs towards the stairs at the speed of an arrow without any warning. Behind her, the slim figure's shadow catches up to her at a speed that makes Tosaka look stagnant. Kuzuki's fist will most likely hit the back of Tosaka's head. He's the one who hurt Saber through her armor. It would be easy for him to crush a human skull. I can't save her. I can't help her by myself. I can't save her with just this bamboo sword. I'll die if I go out. 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 I'll go out. I jump down. I don't even bother using the stairs. I jump down right behind Tosaka from a height of 5 meters without knowing it. But that's it. My bamboo sword is crushed by Kuzuki's fist and tried to hit the back of Tosaka's head. Everyone opens their eyes wide in astonishment at the intruder, except for one enemy who reacts as if it's normal. There's no hesitation. It doesn't matter for this man who the opponent is. There are no emotions towards Shirou Emiya, who appeared out of nowhere. The Grim Reaper's nail is thrust. There's no way to avoid it. My neck will break like a stem. Sightless. It's meaningless if I won't even last 2 seconds. Just like this, I won't be able to do anything, not even help Tosaka. No. I've had a way out from the start. I can prepare numerous things to block the attack. If I'm a mage, then it's not my body that does battle, is it? then it is not my body that does battle. It is none other than my magecraft creations. Trace on. Then make it. Success is a matter of course. Reconstruction doesn't start from the basic framework. Danger. Read the origin itself from its concept and the creator's thoughts, expectations, morals, and faith. Danger. That is why it is not reconstruction, but projection. Is an equal shadow cast by the true object. Danger. It does not matter how great the work is. If something has been accomplished once, then there should be no problem recreating it. Rampage. There's another problem. Yes, the problem is. The body cannot keep up its function. My body is burning. Every cell in me ignites. My nerves let out agonizing cries. My retinas crack and dry up, and my heartbeat disappears. I ignore my body's order to stop. I omit the process of the idea of creation, the basic framework, the quality of the composition materials, the technique necessary for creating, the experience of being depended on, the accumulated years in one breath, and create Kancho and Bakugo. My whole body burns. To use projection right now would mean to die. Shirou Emiya's body cannot bear such abnormal use of magecraft. My head ignores that it gets ahead of itself, and therefore my body will perish. But there's no way that can be a problem. No, it can't be. I'll die if I create a sword? No way! This body is a magic circuit specialized for that purpose alone. I've been helped by swords and have lived with swords. Therefore, I don't know about others, but there's no way I would self-destruct over something like creating a sword. A repellent. The weapons in my hand are the same, and the enemy I'm confronting is the same. Kancho and Bakugo are in my hands. The reproduced archer's noble phantasm repels Kuzuki's fist once again. It stopped. Kuzuki must have figured out that it would turn out the same way as last time, and he slightly distances himself. My lungs explode. The breath I've been holding bursts out of my mouth. I can't feel my left shoulder. My wound is completely opened up, and the blood stains not only my bandage, but my clothes as well. It's not from the damage of projection. 2 blows. My left arm is destroyed just from repelling Kuzuki's fist twice. If I received one more blow, I bet a strange scene would unfold where my shoulder bone dislocated and my arm blocked, even though I got punched by a fist. I can't possibly reveal my internal conditions. I protect Tosuka back while readying my swords. Tosuka.
バカしろ！あんた、なんだってこんなところに来てんのよ！
Stopped and is verbally attacking me. I'm relieved. My choice wasn't wrong. I'm glad that her kindness that's hard to understand isn't gone. Ugh! Now's not the time for that. It's too early to tell if my choice was right or not. We have to get out of here unwounded. Sorry, complain to me later, Tosuka. I'll listen once I catch my breath, so let's do something about Archer and them right now. Tosuka nods without a word and gets ready for battle.
手を出すと分かってはいたが、まさか飛び降りるとは思わなかった。
Kuzuki is watching us with his fist ready to fight. He has no intention of letting us go. We're glaring at each other so that we don't let each other go. If either Tosuka or I move, he should react right away. Gah! But I can't be leisurely standing by. The wound in my shoulder is getting worse by the second. I'm losing concentration as I lose more blood. My body wasn't going to last long to start with. If we're going to run away, we have to run away as soon as possible. But we can't run away that easily. If I move, Kuzuki will obviously react. If he does, Tosuke will be the first one to be killed. I need to defeat Kuzuki to let Tosuke get away. But I don't have the power to defeat Kuzuki, and Kuzuki isn't the only enemy. Behind Kuzuki is Caster and the traitor, Archer. Well, worst comes to worst, Saber might also become our enemy. Was there no exit to start with? There's no miracle where we can escape this devastating situation. I would want Tosuke to escape at the very least, but even that would require so much luck that it makes me disgusted.
そこまでのようね。あなたの乱入には驚いたけど、結果は変わらないわ。ええ、その顔では諦めもついたようだし。出てきたということは、殺されてもいいということよね、坊や。ここでおしまいにしてあげるわ。生かしておいても面倒でしょうし、ここでまとめて。
She's coming. I can only resist with all my might at this point, so I stand in front of Tosuke, putting my strength into the twin swords. An intent to kill is released. Right before that reaches us,
いいや、待てキャサー。
the Red Knight takes a hold of the atmosphere in an emotionless. The Red Knight takes a hold of the atmosphere in an emotionless voice.
はあ、じゃあこの場での発言権がないことぐらい読み取ってると思ったけど。
いや、言い忘れていたことがあった。お前の軍門に下るには一つだけ条件をつけて。
条件ですって？
ああ、無抵抗でお前に自由を差し出したのだ。その代償としてこの場では奴らを見逃してやれ。どのみちマスターとしては機能しない者たちだ。殺す価値はないだろう。
A suggestion as though it doesn't concern him. Tosuke gazes at him intently.
見逃せですって？言動の割には甘いのね、あなた。
私とて人の子だ。さすがに裏切った瞬間に主を殺したでは後味が悪い。
裏切り者のくせによく本人の前で人並みのことを言えたものね。いいわ、今回は見逃してあげましょう。けれど次に目障りな真似をしたら誰が止めようと殺します。それでいいかしら、あーちゃん。
当然だ。この状況でなお戦いを挑むような愚か者ならば手早く死んだ方がいい。
That must have concluded the negotiation. The killing intent that filled the sanctuary fades, and the tension to not let us go disappears.
そういうことよ、お二人さん。今回は見逃してあげるわ。さあ、敗者は敗者らしく逃げるように立ち去りなさい。
I glare at Caster, but Tosuke silently pulls my
行
arm.
きましょう。今はあいつの言う通りよ。
She whispers in my ear. I calm my breathing and turn my back to the enemy in front of me. We slowly walk to the stairs without even running. The distance that seems so great is covered in just a few steps. A footstep. Tosuke puts a foot on the stairs and looks back at Caster once. No, that's not it. The one she looked back was not it. The one she looked back at was not Caster, but that man smiling beside her enemy.
恨むのなら筋違いだぞ、リン。マスターとしてこの女の方が優れていただけの話だ。優劣が明確ならば私は強い方を取る。
そうね。けど後悔するわよ。 いい？キャスターを倒してあんたを取り戻す。その時になって謝っても許さないんだから。
それは無駄骨だな。まあ自殺するというのなら止めはしないが。
She turns away and starts walking. Looking at her side profile, she's biting her lip vexingly. Yet she doesn't speed up and leaves the underground sanctuary with confident steps and without looking back. We get out of the church. We didn't exchange words at all from the underground sanctuary to here. Gah! My wound hurts. The sweat that formed on my forehead drips down into my eyes, and my vision becomes cloudy. Gah. Even just walking hurts my wound too? My shoulder hurts every time I take a step, and my strides are getting shorter before I realize it.
Emiya-kun?
She looks back at me as I'm falling behind. Then, Tosaka suddenly looks at me with a straight face.
少し休みましょう。シロ、歩くのも辛いでしょう。
Huh? No, I'm fine. I can bear this much, but more importantly, we should get home as soon as we can. Either my place or her place. It doesn't matter which one, but for now, I should get Tosaka back to her home ground as soon as possible. Don't worry about my wound. It's not like it has poison in it. I ignore Tosaka's stare and start walking. How pitiful. My knee's about to snap just as I say that.
ほら、もう無茶するんだから。その傷でクズキとやり合うなんて自殺行為よ。いいから休みなさい。あいつら、私たちを追いかけたりはしてこないわ。
I think so, but we should get back as fast as we can. It's not that painful.
あんたね、そんなに血が出てて辛くないなって言わないでよ。なんで家に戻りたがるか知らないけど、今は休む方が先でしょ。
She yells at me. Yeah, she's not quite back to her normal self yet. She's lacking her usual calmness. She's an emotional person to start with, so I'm sure her anger will be unstoppable if her brakes give way.
ちょっと聞いてるの？綺麗じゃあるまいし、そんなに血の跡をつけて歩かれても迷惑なのよ。大体どうしてこんなことになってるわけ？そりゃ教会に行けって言ったのは私だけど、すぐにヤバいってわからなかったの？
Hey, don't make fun of me. I can understand that at least. I could tell that it was a helpless situation since I first saw the church.
ならすぐ帰りなさいバカ。それだけじゃない。傷も治ってないのに乱入してきて、おまけにまた投影？そんなの傷が悪化するのは当然じゃない。だって言うのに辛くはないですって。はあ、もうどうかしてる。なんだってそんな無茶するのよあんたは。
Tosaka goes off intensely. You know, I'll scream cat that. I like Saber's dress, but taking a screen cap of that pose just made me feel uncomfortable. No, but it really isn't that painful. Besides, it's more painful for you, right? So let's go home. You can complain once we get home. Yeah, that's why I wanted to get home as soon as possible. There's no need to act that strong. Tosaka can complain without constraint once she's back in her room at home. She wipes her face as if she messed up and turns away. I can't think of what to say. That was...
信じらんない。男の子に任された。
She murmurs while looking down. Then... Tosaka, your hand! You're holding my hand!
うるさい。責任取れ、バカ。
Hey, my wound hurts! Don't pull my left hand! This place this was a foreigner cemetery from some time ago. Once Tosaka walks down to the grassy area, she finally lets go of my hand. Hey, Tosaka. Now's not the time to be taking a detour.
座って。いいから座って。
Her intensity doesn't let me object, so I sit down for
で、
now.
後ろを向いて絶対に振り返らないこと。私の顔を見たら本当に怒るから。
I hear a sound behind me. We sit down back to back on the grass. I can't grasp what meaning there is to this. Tosaka is silent now, and she told me not to turn around. There's nothing to do, so I look up at the night sky for now. I gasp at how vast it is. Is it because we were underground for a long time, or is it just because the starry sky is clear tonight? Either way, the winter night sky is so beautiful that it makes me forget my pain. I don't mind Tosaka's body heat that I feel through my back either. I gaze blankly at this dark sky, forgetting everything for now. How long have we been sitting like this? The person next to me talks to me in a calm voice.
独り言なんだけど。
I see. I can't reply if she's just talking to herself. I'll keep watching the stars in silence.
少し間違えたかもしれない。あーちゃんの言う通り、最初のうちに手段を選ばずキャスターを倒しておけばよかった。ショットの犠牲を気にして機会を計ってたけど、結局このままだと街中の人が犠牲になるでしょう。
She keeps talking. This must be her whining. She's not confessing because of what I said earlier. In short, Tosaka didn't want to reflect on her actions by herself, but wanted someone else to do it.
別に愚痴を言うわけじゃないけどね。私いつも一番大事なことばっかりしくじるのよ。2番か3番か、そういうのはさらっとできるくせに、一番大事なものだけは手こずるんだ。
The winter sky is clear. But on the other hand, the temperature is freezing cold. I don't care about myself, but isn't Tosaka cold without a jacket? I'm a little worried about
アー
that.
チャーがあっち側に行ったのもあいつだけの責任じゃないわ。結局キャスターを野放しにしたのは私だもの。けど、参ったな。ついさっきあんなこと言ったのにいきなり追い詰められちゃった。
She sighs deeply. I can't see it, but her breath must be white.
ちょっとここ何にって突っ込むところだと思うんだけど。
Oh, so what were you concerned by, Tosaka?
うん、後悔はしたくないってこと。あいつは私はそういう性格じゃないって言ってたけど、今が正念場みたい。シローがあんなこと言うから余計失敗したなって落ち込んじゃった。
I see. I don't really get what she's talking about, but what Archer said is correct. Tosaka's not the type to regret anything. That's only now. It's irritating, but I agree with Archer's opinion. There's nothing for you to regret.
どうしてよ。現にキャスターはやりたい放題でアーチャーにまで愛想をつかされた。これ私が方針を間違えたからでしょ。
You weren't wrong, just unsuccessful. As long as you're not in the wrong, it's okay to be proud, even if things don't go your way. In the process, if you walk down the path that you believe is right, you can't be wrong. Most people will realize that the path they chose itself was wrong, but she's different. Any path that she chooses should be something that she's proud of. Yeah, to be honest, you've always shined. I won't regret anything either. I believe what I've been doing is correct, but it's full of patches. I won't regret anything. I want to make the tragedies that happened into meaningful things by believing that the path I took is correct. But you're different, right? Whenever you regret something, I bet you're the type to deliver twice as much payback. I conceal my regret with patches, but you go and destroy yours to pieces with a straight face. You come out on top. I bet you only get depressed once in a while, but what comes after is scary in your case. I think you would make whoever made you depressed several times more depressed.
何それ、追い打ち?
Okay, screen cap this one, because I like the expression on her face better. Yeah, I figured I'd say it while you're down. But, well, isn't it true? You don't intend to give up now, right? I also say that as if I'm talking to myself while looking at the sky. Tosaka doesn't answer, but somehow, I feel like she smiled, as though she pulled herself together. And silence follows. Tosaka must have said everything she wanted to say as she goes silent again. I aimlessly look up at the night sky. We should be going home, but neither of us can stand up, so we just keep our backs together.
そういえば、どうして私を助けたの、シロ?
I can't explain. There are many reasons. I feel like it's silly to explain each one. That's how I feel, so I decided to tell her what I need to tell her most. This pendant is familiar to you, right? I show her the pendant. That's what I thought. I bet she tried to hide it, but she made a mistake again.
それ、どうして?
I found it in your room. Oh, you might be surprised when you get home. Sorry, I knocked down your dressing table. I returned the pendant to Tosaka from behind her.
で、それがどうしたっていうのよ、あなたは。
Well, I have the same pendant at home. I picked it up when I almost got killed by Lancer at school. I innocuously hint about that night. Then
そっちにも同じものがある?
Tosaka gasped as if she saw something she shouldn't have seen. Huh? Did I say something strange?
別に。それより、どうしてそれが私を助けた理由になるのよ。別にいいじゃない、そんなペンダントなんて。
You're right. Yeah, that was just an afterthought. To confess, I've admired Green Tosaka for a long time. This is a problem, but I got to like you even more after talking to you. So I didn't want you to die, and I just jumped down without thinking before I realized it.
あったね。そういう歯に衣着せぬ発言はやめなさい。考えなしに思ったことを口にしてると、どこかしらで誤解を招くんだから。
Why would I? I really like you. I become obstinate and immediately reply. It's not a lie, so there's no misunderstanding to be had.
バカ、そんなだから自殺同然で飛び込んでくるのよ。大バカ。
Tosaka repeatedly calls me an idiot. She's criticizing me mercilessly, but it doesn't make me feel bad at all. The night sky is beautiful, and I feel calm. Most of all, I'm really happy that Tosaka is back to her usual self.
よし、シロの言う通り、そろそろ家に帰りましょうか。ほら、手を出して。その傷だと立つのも辛いでしょ。
I grab her hand with my right hand. Tosaka lets out an energetic sound and pulls me up.
これで貸し借りはなしね。今日のことはお互いノーカウントってことにしましょう。
Yeah, that helps. I don't know what that pendant meant to Tosaka. I bet I would feel more indebted to Tosaka if I found out. Tosaka didn't want that and said the incidents offset each other. That's why Tosaka shouldn't feel indebted about being helped here earlier either. And we leave the corner cemetery. On the way back, quietly...
助けてくれてありがとう、シロ。すごく助かったわ。
Tosaka adds with embarrassment. We go down the hill. When we're about to go back to our home... When we're about to go back to our home ground where we can be at ease, Tosuka heads for my place instead of hers, as if it's natural. We're back at my place. I never thought we'd make it back alive, so the tension on my shoulders relaxes as soon as I get in the living room. Whoa! I feel a bit dizzy and lean against the wall.
ほら見なさい。やっぱりまともに立ってられないじゃない、バカ。
Tosuka's right, but I think that last part was unnecessary. How many times did she have to call me an idiot today? I bet she set a new record today.
ほら、こっちに来なさい。とりあえず包帯ぐらい変えないとまずいでしょ。
I nod at her stare that won't let me say otherwise and go to Tosuka.
この救急箱を使っていいんでしょ。さすが家に道場があるだけのことはあるわね。ハサミばかりか、針と糸が入ってる救急箱ってのも珍しいわ。ってほら早く服を脱いで傷を見せなさいってば。
Huh? I have to take my clothes off? Oh no, I can do it myself. I did it this morning too, so there's no problem.
あのね、何遠慮してるか知らないけど、そもそもその傷の手当てをしたのは誰だと思ってるの？
But that time, I wasn't conscious, so I was only causing an inconvenience to Tosuka.
あの時もこの時もないの。いいから早くしなさい。シロウの傷は特別なんだから、ちゃんと見ないと治るものも治らなくなるじゃない。
How unfair. I can't complain if she tells me with a face like that. Yeah, then I'll leave it to you. To be honest, it's been burning. I give up and sit down. Seeing that my clothes are stained with blood, Tosuka gives up taking it off and starts cutting it right away. She then quickly but carefully takes off the bandages. It must have been bad as Tosuka slightly gasps. But I'm troubled as well. It's so embarrassing having her stare at my body so closely.
本当に無茶するんだから。せっかく治りかけてたのがまた開いてるわよ。まったく。こんなの見せられたら怒るに怒れないじゃない。
She talks abusively, yet gently touches my wound. Dang, I'm getting dizzy for a different reason. I was calm even when we were that close earlier, but now my heart's unstable and I don't know where to look. Oh man. I mutter inside and hit my boiled head, but it does no good. The temperature inside my head will keep on going if we stay like this. Tosuka, that's enough, right? You can just use a styptic, antibiotic ointment, and rewrap the bandages.
そういうのは手当てって言わない。宣言撤回、やっぱり頭にきた。そんな気休めで外に出たわけね、あんたは。
A slapping sound. What was that for? Tosuka slapped me on my wound without mercy. Do you have some grudge against me?
恨みなら骨髄まで染み渡っているっていうの。それでも手加減してあげたんだから感謝しなさい。
Saying that, she takes out something that looks like homemade ointment.
今の痛かったでしょ。とりあえず壊死してる神経を治したからしばらくは痛むわよ。これには痛み止めも含まれてるけど、もともと破損した肉の代わりだから。馴染むまでは痛むけど、痛みがあるうちは無茶しちゃダメだからね。
She applies the jelly-like substance on my wound. It looks really suspicious, but Tosuka is treating me seriously.
はい、これで終わり。あとは包帯を巻いてぐっすり寝れば、明日には幾分楽になってるはずよ。
She skillfully wraps the bandages around the wound. I'm not praising her, but her wrapping is much better than mine. Yeah, thanks, Tosuka. I feel better. I thank her, trying not to make eye contact.
まあ、それならいいけど、 楽になったって言うんなら見た甲斐があったわ。
Yeah, it's even more helpful since I didn't think it would heal. Anyway, thanks for treating the wound.
そんなの当たり前でしょ。私が見る以上はきっかり直してみせるんだから。
Finishing the treatment, Tosaka stands up. Then, I don't know why, but she heads straight to the kitchen. Tosaka? Am I seeing things? She's checking inside the refrigerator and the rice cooker. Hey, what are you doing?
夕ご飯の支度。シロ食べてないでしょ。私も食べてないのよ。だからとりあえず夕食。
Yeah, I can tell. But why are we having dinner in this situation?
なんでって当然じゃない。人間空腹でまともな案が浮かぶわけないでしょ。
And Tosaka declares while glaring at the inside of the refrigerator. The sound of clashing tableware echoes. It's past 10 p.m. I don't know how it ended up like this, but I'm eating a late dinner with Tosaka in the living room. By the way, the dinner was made by both of us. Princess Tosaka wanted to eat Japanese cuisine, but she didn't even know how to make miso soup. It really makes me worried what our school is teaching the girls in cooking class. Tosaka focuses on her meal. She must be hungry, as her bowl is almost empty. But I don't have much of an appetite right now. It's partly because this isn't the time to be eating, but more so because I haven't said it yet.
シロはここで降りなさい。
I haven't expressed my thoughts to Tosaka, who told me that as she left. Tosaka, I have something I want to talk about. I put my chopsticks down and look at Tosaka.
何？
I've been thinking since then about why I joined this battle and what I wanted to do.
それで？
She urges me as she sips on her miso soup. It puts my spirit down, but I put strength in my abdomen, refusing to lose. At first, it was because I was dragged into it, and as long as I became a master, I wanted to do something about this war. But it has nothing to do with becoming a master or being dragged into it. I like being a hero of justice. That's why I need to protect everyone. I don't care about this master thing. It makes no difference in the fact that I'm going to fight, even if I'm not a master anymore or lost Saber. I said, ready for Tosaka's rebuttal. But Tosaka
そう。
gives an absent-minded answer and finishes the food in her bowl. Hey, Tosaka, I'm talking about serious stuff, so...
聞いてるわよ。シロは一人でも戦うのよね。死ぬような目に遭うより、死ぬような目に遭ってしまう人がいるっていう事実が耐えられない。だから、どんなに自分が弱くても戦うことに決めたんでしょ。
She looks straight at me. It's as if she sees through a part of me that even I don't know about with integrity, and approves of me fighting. Huh? Oh, yeah, that's true.
何よその顔。リスが砂糖菓子舐めたような顔して。
Well, I thought you were going to object.
してるわよ、もちろん。けど、あれだけ見事に助けられたんだから、シロに文句なんて言えないでしょ。それにさ、どんなに止めたって、あんたはそういうやつなんだって分かっちゃったし。
Tosaka averts her gaze a bit. I don't know why, but anyway. So, Tosaka, we're still cooperating, right?
まあね、仕方ないから付き合ってあげる。だいたいあんたみたいなのを一人にしてたら、不安で眠れないし。それに。
She takes a deep breath. After getting ready for some reason.
シロー風に言えば、私もシローのこと嫌いじゃないし。私はそういうわけだし、そっちだって一緒にいても問題ないでしょ、実際。
Tosaka hands me her bowl, which has a cat on it. Maybe it's Taiga's bowl? How long did it take me to realize take for me to realize that she's asking for seconds? Oh, yeah, of course. I don't care how much of a tyrant you are, it's what I want. I take the bowl, open the rice cooker, swing the rice paddle, and hand it back to her with an extra portion.
いいけど、お腹減ってるし、ご飯美味しいし。
Tosaka starts eating the mountain of rice. I let out a smile. I bet I'm eating with a really happy expression. I can't put my smile away even if I'm aware. I'm so happy right now, so let me smile like a fool for a while. Well, now we're drinking tea together after dinner.
つまり東映には東映なりの限度ってものがあるわけ。一見イメージを形にするっていう何でもありに見えるけど、東映にはいろいろと独自のルールがある。その制約の中で一番わかりやすいのは投影物の損傷、存在における強度ってやつよ。
Tosaka puts up a finger while she's drinking her tea. Strength of its existence? What? You mean its flimsiness is being unable to bear an existence of the illusion? I sip on my green tea and tilt my head in response.
何も知らないようでいてつまんない言葉知ってるのね、あなた。けどまあ当たらずとも遠からずかな。東映は自己のイメージからそれに沿った本物を完璧に複製する。これに例外はないわ。自分の中で完璧でなければ投影はできない。新作の影である以上、一部の隙も許されないのが投影魔術よ。だから基本的に投影によって生み出されたものは自己のイメージ通りの強度を持つわ。幻想という点においてはこの時点で完璧なのよ。加えて投影する術者のイメージ、知識が本物に近ければ近いほど現実においても完璧になるわけ。
Hold on, that's weird. I projected Archer's swords, but Kuzuki destroyed them. I know Caster strengthened Kuzuki's fist, but they aren't strong enough to destroy a noble phantasm. Doesn't that mean that Archer's Kancho and Bakuya that I projected is inferior by several ranks? Doesn't that mean that Archer's Kancho and Bakuya that I projected is inferior by several ranks to the original ones?
はい、いいところに気がつきました、エミヤくん。それが投影の限界、存在における強度ってやつよ。いい？投影はあくまで投影、想像じゃない。投影を作り上げるのは術者のイメージだけだから、イメージそのものにほころびが生じた時、本物と同じ性能であろうと無産するの。
A flaw in the image? Isn't that weird too? If the image is wrong, then you can't project in the first place.
ええ、だからほころびが生じるのは投影した後になるわ。そうね、例えばシローが絶対に折れない名剣を投影したとするでしょ。
I nod. Tosaka nods in satisfaction.
けど絶対に折れない剣なんてものはない。
I'm pretty sure Saber would disagree.
その剣の表現方法、伝承、売り文句などに絶対に折れないというパーソナリティがあるだけで、実際はそれを上回る幻想にぶつかれば刃こぼれぐらいするし、折れることだってある。
Doesn't that mean that my image was wrong if it breaks? Since I made a sword that won't break, right?
ならない。投影が成功した時点で形の上での間違いはないんだし、そもそも折れない剣なんて名前みたいなものでしょ。実際に折れない剣なんてないんだから。
Again, I'm pretty sure Saber knows of one. In fact, I'm pretty sure she uses it.
けどシロ、あなたがイメージしたものは絶対に折れない剣よね。これが現実で折れちゃった場合、投影されたものは嘘になるのよ。それは剣が折れたからじゃないわ。あなたがイメージしたものは折れない剣。 それが折れてしまった時点でシロウの中の折れない剣と今折れてしまった剣は別物になる。あなたと現実、その計りが崩れてしまうから。
To sum it up, alright. So I imagined a sword that won't break and projected it, but the sword that I projected broke during battle. At that point, since I denied the sword myself, saying, "Hey, this sword breaks in real life," the projected thing disappeared as a result. Because of the image's discrepancy.
冴えてるじゃない。ええ、つまりはそういうこと。あなたはアーチャーの剣を投影した。あなたの中であれがどんな位置づけだったかは知らないけど、シロウ自身はクズキの攻撃で壊れるような剣をイメージしてはいなかった。けど実際に剣は破壊されてしまった。その時点であなたはその剣をこんなのはアーチャーの剣じゃないと思ってしまったのよ。
So if I believe hard enough, I can make a sword that doesn't break.
で、作り上げられた投影は術者の否定によって存在強度を失い、元の空想に戻ったってわけ。
I see. Even projected weapons can break. But it's not the enemy that makes the projected weapon disappear, but yourself. When the difference between your image and reality becomes too big to amend, the projected weapon disappears. Most of all, it's because the one who created it stopped believing in that illusion.
わかった？だから投影魔術はまず設計図から入るの。あとは材質と性質、歴史なんかも考慮すべきね。そのあたりから固めていけば、多少現実でイメージと違ってもすぐに消えるなんてことはないでしょ？
Huh? Then wouldn't you start from considering why you decided to make that in the first place? Materials and techniques aren't enough. Today's dinner also started from you saying that you wanted to eat Japanese cuisine. Then you have to start from the beginning of the creation. Oh. Tosaka stunned. Tosaka stares at me. I sip my tea and tilt my head in wonder. Hey, why did we start talking about this again?
そういえばそうよね。私たち確か今後の作戦を話し合ってたような。
Yeah, that's right. As we were talking about what we should do moving forward,
シロ
Tosaka
本格的に投影魔術をやってみない？
said an irresponsible thing like that.
思い出した。不確定な要素に希望を持っちゃうぐらい行き詰まってたんだっけ。
Yeah, you're right. First off, all I can manage to project is swords, and that's never helped me before, so that probably won't be of much help. Oh, she's looking at me with weird eyes again. I wonder why she makes that expression when we talk about projection magecraft.
まあいいわ。もう一度状況を確認しましょう。目下のところ、敵はキャスター。あいつだけなら大したことはないけど、白兵戦に長けたマスターと、あっち側についたアーチャーに守られている限り手は出せないわ。加えて、セイバーが操られるのも時間の問題。状況は刻一刻と悪くなっていくわけだけど。
Yeah, but Archer aside, Saber isn't fully under Castor's control yet. That gives us a chance of victory. There's no chance to win once Saber completely submits to Castor. Besides, I won't let that happen. She told me to run. For the sake of Saber, who said that while crying, I can't let Castor have her way.
そういうことね。それじゃあ意見のある人は挙手。シロ、なんかいいアイデアある？
A plan that will be a solution to the current situation. If there's a way to oppose Castor, it's... We're gonna need some backup. They aren't opponents that we can take on by ourselves. There are 3 enemies, so we need at least one more person to cooperate with us. In that case, our choices are limited. People who are also mages and have a reason to fight Castor. That is none other than another master. Tosuga, don't get mad and hear me out. Do you think we can cooperate with other masters?
いいわ。その心は口にするからには何か算段があるんでしょ
Well, not really, but the other masters can't ignore Castor's current situation, right? Then I thought that maybe we could join hands just this time.
ええ。実は私も同じことを考えてた。てっきりシロを反対すると思ってたから黙ってたんだけどね。
She says with a reluctant expression. She must not like the idea deep down, but she must know that's the only option we have.
となると、残るマスターは2人。ランサーのマスターとバーサーカーのマスターね。ランサーのマスターは不明のままだから交渉のしようもないけど、バーサーカーのマスターであるイリアスフィールなら可能性はあるかもしれない。
Berserker's master. The girl in white and the rock-like giant I met on the first day. Her actions were dangerous, but I don't think she's cruel. Yeah, that girl might at least listen to us. She doesn't seem like she would propose any absurd conditions in return either.
バカ、シローにとっちゃあいつが一番ヤバいのよ。あいつ、初めっからシローしか見てなかったもの。私はともかく、あんたはどんな目に遭わされるか分かったもんじゃないわよ。
What do you mean? I only met that girl once, so that's not possible. Don't scare me like that, Tosuga!
そんなことになったら交渉なんて破棄に決まってるじゃない。バカ。
And she looks away, then chugs her tea.
けど、今はイリアスフィールにかけるしかないわね。キャスターの正体がアーチャーの言う通りなら、間違いなくバーサーカーは天敵だし、何しろ生前の知り合いだもの。キャスターの手口なんて知り尽くしてるでしょ。バーサーカーならキャスターとアーチャーが同時に攻めてきても追い返せる。私たちはその間にクズキ一人を攻略すればいい。
Yeah, he might know Castor's tricks, but I would imagine she wouldn't be too keen to see the guy that was buddy with her axe. That's idealistic, but Tosuga, do Castor and Berserker really know each other?
ええ、アーチャーが言ってたのよ。バーサーカーの正体はヘラクレスだって。キャスターが本当にあの希代の魔女なら、アルゴーセンつながりでバーサーカーとは面識があるかもしれない。私が綺麗に苦手意識を持つのと同じ。世の中にはね、どうしたって苦手なやつっているもんなのよ。
Huh. But Tosuga, I'm sure anyone would dislike that priest. Then it's decided. But how should we find her? She hasn't come out since, but with that much magical energy, we should be able to find her no matter where she hides, right? If we can't find her, so doesn't that mean she's not in this town?
でしょうね。イリアスフィールはずっと遠くから聖杯戦争を眺めて楽しんでるんでしょう。
From afar? Is she keeping watch over the town like Castor is from Ryudo Temple?
さあ、けどどこにいるかは見当がつく。昔父さんから聞いたことがあるのよ。アインツベルンは郊外の森に別荘を持ってるって。
She says with a tense voice. A villa that stands in the forest on the outskirts. I can tell how dangerous the place is just from the way Tosuga is acting. I go back to my room and lie down. Sleepiness spreads to my whole body as soon as I do. I stare at the dark ceiling. We're going to Iliaspiel, that girl in white's hideout tomorrow. No matter what kind of negotiations take place, it's obvious that I'll become a trial of strength. Tosuga suggested that we take a nap before we head over, since we won't be able to achieve good results if we go with tired bodies. 5 more hours till dawn. We have to go talk to that girl after that. The young master that appeared in front of us on the night I became a master. If Saber is an excellent servant in all aspects, then Berserker is specialized when it comes to battle. There's no servant that can match Berserker simply in terms of battle. How are we supposed to talk with such monsters? Saying it makes me believe that it's impossible to negotiate with them. However, strangely, I don't feel any uneasiness. I feel like that Ilya kid will understand if we talk to her. Just like Tosaka, I'm sure she can differentiate her enemies and allies as a mage, but I feel like she is a decent kid in a different regard. Jeez, what wishful thinking when I haven't even talked with her yet. I bet she would flame me saying that it's a convenient fantasy. But what's wrong with believing that? Is it weird to have hope for someone you don't know and are about to meet? I realize that I'm gritting my teeth. The man that told me to drown in my ideals betrayed Tosaka in front of my eyes. A guy with that much trust and power changed his beliefs that easily. Archer. I feel my heart start to sink. No, is it freezing? My mind freezes just thinking back at his actions. I'm angry. I can't forgive him for betraying Tosaka of all people. I can't forgive him for abandoning his ally out of all people. I will never be like that. Even if that had been the very best action to survive and it ends up being the correct path, I will never do something like that. His actions have been getting on my nerves. He told me not to talk about ideals. I rebelled against him when he said that I can't save anything. Even then, I agreed somewhat in my heart. His words are correct. The hero of justice that my old man talked about was just a pipe dream. And I accepted the fact that I have to become like him if I wanted to get as close to that ideal as possible. I've been denying it, even though I had accepted it in my mind. But this time isn't that kind of level. I can't accept him. I can't accept the action that he took, no matter the circumstances. I won't be able to keep standing if I approve of it. That's why I can't lose to you. My words don't disperse into the night and remain in the room. A few more hours till dawn. I keep repeating those words in my mud-like slumber. And we'll call it there for a night, for tonight. Hope you're enjoying these streams. And I'll see you guys later. Have a good night.